Are we live? Is this a
No? Well, I mean, we're live whenever I open up. No one's listening right now. It's just going to be recorded and put on.
Oh, this is recording. I was going to say, this is a pretty unprofessional start for you, you know?
I'm going to start now.
Wait, so is it has it been recording the whole time?
It's been recording the whole time, so this might go on like an outtakes.
It's the Gaels gone wild. It's the Gaels gone wild. It's the Gaels gone wild.
And live from Moraga, California on Selection Sunday, this is the NCAA Tournament Preview Show presented by Diablo Valley Insurance, proudly representing Safeco Insurance. Go to DiabloValleyInsurance.com for more details. Here along the St. Mary's IMG Sports Network, Alex Jensen live with you. On today's NCAA Tournament Preview Show, we'll have Marty Clarke and Dane Pineau, along with sound from today's press conference from head coach Randy Bennett and a few players. Enjoy.
Not much of an opening statement, just we're excited to be in the tournament. It's hard to get into, and just to see your name called is, as all these guys can testify to, is pretty exciting.
When that many teams were called before you guys, you knew you were getting in, but is there a part of you that thinks, are you kidding me? Can this possibly be happening again?
I can't lie, for 1 second I was like, no way, right? We gotta be in. And we were down the last 8 teams called, and it just makes your name getting called even more sweet. Any questions? Jeff?
Yeah, man, last year you talked about the disappointment of not getting in, and you guys all knew you were going to get in, but can you talk about the emotions of today versus a year ago?
Yeah, a bit of a different feeling, but it's hard. I was doing my job not to feel nervous, as more teams start getting called towards the end of it. And I think everyone's heart rates are up a little bit. But, we're just super excited now, and we've got a lot of work to do for Thursday. But for today, I think we're going to enjoy it. Like I say, it's a lot better than last year, that's for sure.
Any questions?
Can you guys, Calvin, maybe start with you, just speak to the vindication of all the work you guys have done for 4 months and even prior to that, and especially going through what you did last year, being 27-5 and still being left out, how this sort of validates everything you guys have been through.
Yeah, definitely. It started a lot longer than 4 months ago. I'd say this team started getting together, getting close back in the spring. Had a lot of conditioning workouts, weights and shooting stuff, and the freshmen came in the summer and really started building our camaraderie as a team. Kind of before the season started, we knew we were going to be close. Had everybody back from last year, and it's just this is pretty awesome. It's a testament to all the hard work we put in the off season and during the season, and couldn't be prouder of our guys and our team and our coaches, and we're excited to see what we can do on Thursday.
John, can you just talk about what the team's goals going forward? What would you like to, now you're in, you're there, what would you like to achieve once you get to the tournament?
I think we're just going to take it one game at a time and take them as they come, and hopefully we can get rack in a few wins there. But I think an ultimate goal of the teams, we can't joke about and talk about it every now and again, is to beat the Sweet 16 team. That would be awesome. So I think we're just going to take one game at a time, try and take down BCU first, and then go from there.
Joe, I'm sure you noticed you're in Salt Lake City along with your friends from Spokane. You guys going to work and play well together up there?
Yeah, we'll be all right.
But seriously, VCU, and I don't know how much you guys have watched VCU, but it's the havoc. It's a lot of pressing and frenetic defense. I'm just wondering, as maybe you and Emma can speak to it as guards, your thoughts on having to play against a team that is so in your face defensively.
Yeah, familiar. I played against them when I was at BC, right. So I'm familiar with it a little bit. Obviously, different personnel and actually a different coach too. But yeah, as a guards, we talk about composure and just playing slow, play at our pace. We talk about that every game. So going into Thursday, it's definitely something we'll look at and make sure we have in our minds that composure for 40 minutes. Every college basketball game is a fight and generally goes down to the end. And the team that's most composed and stays with their game plan for 40 minutes. Generally gets it done. So, we'll have to be composed and use our experience and go out there and give it our best shot. And it's going to be a whole team effort, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
You guys just had game day gear, taking a look at the atmosphere with the crowd coming out. I guess for any of you to speak on, what does that kind of say just about this small town, that it's really, you guys, St. Mary's really puts Moraga on the map. There are a lot of people who don't know what this place is, probably pass it on the road and go right by it. So I mean, for that, what can you kind of speak to just that support that you get from the community and what you guys get back to the community as well?
Yeah, I got some guys. No, it's truly awesome. Coach talked about it earlier. The culture here in Moraga is great. Tight-knit community and small town, but the whole community here really rallies around the school and this team, and we feel it every game. Best home atmosphere in our league, I think, and it's exciting for us to go out and see what we can do and make Moraga proud.
As for Coach, was there any instant reaction to either the seeding or to the opponent, VCU?
I think the excitement was when you saw your name called, and I watched to see who we're playing. Obviously, that's an issue, but I know VCU from afar. They're a good program, pressure defense, and they've been good for a long time. So probably, similar to us, about that level of a conference, and I'm sure our RPIs are close. They're pretty close to us. I've told her, I forewarned our team that, hey, whoever they call, unless you're in a 116 game, maybe a 215, the rest of them are pretty even games, and they're all good. So BC is good. I don't know their personnel. I haven't watched them at all this year. I just see what they do in the A10, and they're good. So I know they're good. I know they pressure you defensively, and we have a lot of respect for whoever we're playing, and BC is who we're playing. So.
Joe, how was your knee?
It's good. It's good. This week, just working on it. I'll be good to go Thursday. It's shouldn't be a story, and yeah, I'll be ready to roll.
Any other questions? Anyone in the back? Behind the cameras? All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Appreciate it.
We are joined, first of all, by Marty Clarke. Marty, as always, thanks for joining us.
No problem at all. It's always good to join in these circumstances.
Let me ask you something. Once we got to the West region, we've been at St. Mary's now for, each of us for 5+ years. 4+ years for you?
Yep.
Yeah, 4+ years. So, we've been through our fair share of heartbreak. And I got to admit, once we got to the West region show, I thought we were in. Obviously with the 17 RPI, but you just never know. And I got to admit, I got a little bit nervous there.
Yeah, when the spot came up at 6 and Creighton got, I thought, that might make things a little interesting.
Yeah.
But honestly, Dayton at 7. Once they put in at 7, I thought, well, we're not going to be anything below that. There's always the thoughts of last year come in and say, oh, we're going to miss out altogether. But clearly we'd done enough work and played enough good teams, and I guess you say 3 of the 4 games you lost were against a number 1 ranked seed. So there's 64 spots or 68 spots now, and it's just when your name's going to be called more than anything else. But when that Creighton one came up, I thought, oh, this might get a little bit close. But no, fantastic. Good to go in as a 7. It's going to be a tough game. Anything out, well, they're all tough, but anything outside probably the top 4 seeds is pretty much everyone else is in that 5 to 12, 13 ranking. They're all good teams. The teams from the really small conferences that win are probably going to be a 13 or 14 seed anyway. But so you're going to be in for a tough one first up, and you're going to be in for a really tough one if you win that one.
Well, and yeah, you said once Dayton popped up, I was a little bit more at ease. Even though once we got to the West region, I knew we were going to be in the same region as Gonzaga, or that you were going to be in the same region as Gonzaga, which is unusual. When you have a 2-bid league, you don't always see two of those two bids in the same region. But if you look at it, you're in the West. Is that a sign of respect for St. Mary's basketball in the year you've put together at 28-4?
Yeah, it certainly means you're not being trucked off to Buffalo or to Orlando or somewhere like the other side of the country, which they want to keep you somewhat close to home. And I guess that's a sign of either respect or it's I guess in some ways it's going to be fiscally driven as well. They don't want to shunt people off all over the place, but not everyone can be exactly where they want to be or exactly at the closest place. But Salt Lake's pretty close to home.
And we're pretty familiar with that airport.
Yes.
I mean, we were just there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
This is the NCAA Tournament Preview Show presented by Diablo Valley Insurance, proudly representing Safeco Insurance. Well, let's put a bow on that West Coast Conference tournament. I mean, you had the blowout wins against Portland and BYU, and probably that BYU game may have been the best you played all season long.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree with that. I thought we did a really good job both ends of the floor, did a great job on the glass, and individually. I think we understood their individuals and made them go to things they weren't comfortable with. I would say the most complete performance of the year.
Well, and you look at that Gonzaga game, and it's I think that's what makes it the most frustrating was that loss to Gonzaga. What makes it the most frustrating because your team was playing so well, and then to come into that game and just have kind of a clunker of a first half there. I mean, just nothing was going your way, and couldn't get anything going offensively. And then I saw the quote from Coach. He said he thought that the offensive side affected the defense. That's something we haven't seen from this team all year, and maybe that frustration of having that happen for the third time to Gonzaga, maybe that boiled over a little bit.
Yeah, we certainly defended well enough in the very initial stages where they're going to take a run at you right off the bat, and I thought we did a good job defensively. Probably didn't do a good job closing possessions out on a couple of occasions. I mean, they got a couple of putbacks, and then Jock got one stolen after a rebound. They scored off that. But we were doing enough defensively to absorb the fact that we weren't converting offensively, and the issues really came in later in that half where we then turned it over and allowed them to get some runouts, and that's what they're looking for. That's how they build momentum, and it went from a 3 or 4 possession game to like a 20 point game very quickly on transition baskets, and that's really where we dug ourselves a hole. Had that not been the case, and you go in 10 down, okay, you have a run like we had, and we got it back to 5, and we come back from 21 to 5 is a big effort, and it was just too big a hole. I mean, you can't put yourself in those positions against teams that are seeded number 1 in the NCAA tournament.
To your team's credit, I mean, they came out fighting tooth and nail there in the second half, and I think we saw what we were kind of hoping to see for 40 minutes there was a team that was certainly on Gonzaga's level. And, I mean, your club really took it to them there in the first 8-10 minutes there of the second half.
Yeah, and that when from both parts of the offensive game, we threw it inside. Jock got himself going. We went to Calvin on the perimeter, and he got himself going. Emmett was able to penetrate and get to the hoop and convert on layups. And in the end, it'll be the same as the first 2 games. We missed too many layup shots in around the paint. We got it to 5, and our next 5 possessions were all missed layups. And I think they had an and one. They had a 2-point shot on another one, and then the 5 becomes 11 quickly. And you look up and you go, oh, damn, we're 11 down again. How did that happen? Because I still thought we were playing quite well within that stretch, but you just so you can't give good teams 21-point advantage in the first half.
Well, especially when they're basically playing on their home floor with their home crowd anyway.
Yeah, they had a nice crowd. They certainly travel well. There's no doubt. It's a big drive down from Spokane to Vegas, but there was probably 7,000 or 8,000 Gonzaga fans at that game.
Well, and overall this year, I mean, what does this year mean for St. Mary's basketball? You're ranked all season long, first time in school history. You go 28-4. You break the record here for winning percentage in a single season. And on top of all that, David Carter gets his assist record broke. That's kind of a funny story. But I think the most impressive stat here is that 26 of your 28 wins were by double digits. I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, to think that you come out here every night as a ranked team, you got a bullseye on your back. This league knows itself so well. I mean, what does that say about the job that this whole village has really done here, the players, the staff, everybody? Yeah,
and I guess within that, I mean, we may not have won games by double digits. We certainly led games late in games. I mean, and you look at the game at Dayton where we were, it ends up as a 5-point win, but we were 22 up there with 6 minutes to go. And BYU, it was 30, it got back to 15. We've been in control of Gonzaga game out, and then obviously the Arlington games. But we've certainly been in control and been able to control the game. Not just been in control, been in control. We've dominated games, as in being able to control the tempo and play the game we want to play it, not get dragged into others. As I said, the last game, the tournament, we never really got the tempo, other than the last bit of the first half, never really got the tempo out of where we wanted it to be. We just didn't make shots. I mean, if you don't make shots, you've got to defend like crazy. And we did a reasonable job of that. You got to convert opportunities when you have them. Just like on the grander scale, that was an opportunity in itself. A WCC title on the line, maybe a little bit higher seeding. This is another opportunity. You got an opportunity to go to an NCAA tournament, and you've got to control your destiny as best you can on the things you can control. So that message will be sent to the players, as it is all the time. Control what you can control, and don't worry about the rest of it. Just get in and play hard.
The first NCAA tournament for most everybody here. I mean,
everyone, yeah.
Well, except for Randy.
Yes.
David Carter. Did he go to an NCAA tournament? I believe.
Yeah, he would have.
In 1989.
Yeah, he would have played one.
So Randy Bennett and David Carter, the only two people who have competed in an NCAA tournament. What are you excited about? I mean, what this is the mecca of college basketball. This is the big deal. I mean, how much does that excite you? How much does it excite the guys in the locker room?
Oh, certainly start with the guys in the locker room. Clearly, that's their whole thing is about getting to a tournament. I mean, for me, it's getting to the tournament is an exciting thing. Playing VCU is an exciting thing for me. When I saw that name pop up, I thought, okay, that's a name. You understand what they are, you know what they're going to be about, and how they're going to play. So that's a real excitement. Making sure you obviously don't go to a tournament just to go to a tournament, I think, is the biggest key. It's like guys who go to Olympic Games are just happy to go to Olympic Games. They forget to compete, and they forget to play hard, and they forget to do what they need to do. You spend 4 or 8 or 12 years sometimes trying to get to Olympic Games, and when you do get there, you blow your chance. Our job as coaches is to make sure the players don't blow their chance. And for two guys in particular, this is their last, their once, and their only chance of going to an NCAA tournament. They have to go, and everyone has to go and understand that for Dane and for Joe, this is it. They don't get another chance at this. We've got to make the most of this opportunity, and we have to be ready for the opportunity as it's being presented to us.
What were your expectations coming into today? I mean, what kind of seed were you expecting? I know that's reverse it.
I honestly, I thought it would be a 6. I think we're good enough to be a 6 seed. I think understanding the way things operate, I would have thought maybe a 7 or 8. Anything below that, I would have been, I guess, disappointed within the system, maybe more than anything else. But I think where we landed was around about where I thought we'd be.
So you look at this matchup. This is the NCAA Tournament Preview Show, by the way, right here on the St. Mary's IMG Sports Network. It's presented by Diablo Valley Insurance. Go to DiabloValleyInsurance.com. More details. They represent Safeco Insurance. So you look at VCU. I mean, you talked about the matchup here. VCU, obviously a very athletic team. I don't know how much they are able to score, but they finished the regular season second in the Atlantic 10 to Dayton, who's a common opponent, obviously, 26-7 and 16-4 overall. No bad losses. They beat. They're good wins here. Princeton, Middle Tennessee, and Dayton. How much do you know about the Rams?
Well, I spent the morning actually looking at Marquette. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
there you go.
I had a look. I thought maybe
pay attention to Joe Lunardi there, huh?
I thought Marquette might be one they'd try and match up against it. It doesn't surprise me if VCU's it. It's almost one of those bracket buster type situations where they're going to try and put two like programs together in that middle seeding area. But what do we know about VCU? Obviously they defend. They defend up the floor. They press and they run. They're athletic and they're strong. They're really thick-bodied. So it won't be a game, I wouldn't imagine, where you're going to see a lot of set offenses play, because they're going to try and take you out of that. It's then becomes your ability to read plays and make plays. Passing will become a big thing for us, and obviously our ability to knock down outside shots and be able to convert in the paint. You're going to get challenged physically in this one.
Yeah, Alex Jensen along with Marty Clarke here on the NCAA Preview Show on the St. Mary's IMG Sports Network. Yeah, I mean, if you were to pick a couple of key areas in this matchup where you're going to have to execute to come out on top here and be successful, what would they be? And then also, if you could draw a line here, kind of compare VCU to another team. I don't know if you've another like team that St. Mary's has seen over the last couple of years.
Well, a couple of things. First is look after the ball. They live on trying to, I guess, harass you and make you turn it over and shoot layups. So you really look after the ball. You've got to come out in the positives on the glass. And I didn't see the end stats of their game today, but I think they had like 10 offensive rebounds in the first half, and that's how those teams live. They pressure hard, they run, they'll shoot not necessarily great shots, but they'll pound the glass. And so look after the ball and look after the glass with the first two things. A team that it's like, I guess it's like playing a better version of LMU.
Okay.
Like that strong bodies. They said we'll get up the floor, we'll get after you, try and pressure the ball, and if you put it on the floor, they'll be converging on you, trying to sort of rake it out of there or get deflections on perimeter passes, and then get all over the glass. They'll be athletic, no doubt. So I think that's probably the best comparison of a team that's in our league, and we don't have a league that has many of those type of teams, but LMU would be that type of team.
And certainly a program in LMU who has been there before. They're going to have guys who have played in that ilk before. They've been to the Final Four. None of the guys on that club, I don't think, have been to the Final Four. But what kind of does that give them an edge? Does it make a difference? Having that experience. I mean, like we said, nobody here has played in the NCAA tournament. But again, not a whole lot seems to faze these guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their very recent record has been as far as going to tournament, but I know they've certainly been good. They created the illusion of the Havoc defense. To give them confidence, they talk about it all the time. We're going to have 40 minutes of. It's like the old Arkansas teams back in the 90s of 40 minutes of hell. And if you promote that, and you promote that ideal to your team, and this is what we are. This is our identity. You promote it to the media and you promote it to the referees, then everyone's assuming, this is what this team's about, so they must be good at it, so they can go and do it. Our job is to make sure we don't get caught up in that. Certainly don't turn it over. Know that you're going to get fouled, you're going to get hammered. You've got to look after the ball, hold on to it, don't throw it back to them. And I saw them this morning. They were still, even though the coaching staff has changed, the new coaching staff that come in have kept that persona. You see the crowd in all their Havoc shirts and the signs and everything else. It's still about creating havoc. I guess if you ever have a club that's built to withstand that, then it's this one. Play slow, and not necessarily slow as an up and down, but play slow with an awareness of what's going on. Really good passing team, and in the end, we're going to have to bang shots. We'll have to make threes, and we'll have to stretch out that defense to allow us to get somewhere near the basket and let our big guys get to work.
We're in an empty McEwen Pavilion. Now they're popping balloons across the you'd think they'd be able to do that in the lobby so it doesn't echo in here. I'm not sure if they know we're filming a show. No. Not bad sound effects. I kind of like the band cheering over there.
The band was over there together. They were all happy about things, which is great. And hopefully all these support staff get to go and experience this, just like the student athletes and the coaches. It's why this place is good, because it has a good following. You see how many people from the town came in here today to watch the show.
I was just going to say, I mean, how cool was this event? You had a few hundred people here to watch with the team and, get the Q&A and whatever. But how special has the fan support been this year, considering we're close to a record here in attendance here in Moraga, and 5 sellouts. The senior night crowd was incredible. And I think it was all encapsulated in the event tonight. Just the tightness of this community, how close-knit this community is.
It's the hallmark of a great crowd. You can have big crowds; they're not necessarily great. And great crowds affect the result of the game. They don't just turn up the day after we've had a good win for the next game. They affect the result of the game that's going on. And the crowd in here regularly affects results. They get excited when things are going well. When things aren't going so well, they have an ability to get the team back up and going. And it's part of the uniqueness of this building. And the low roof, it's an intimate. It's the crowd is right on the sideline. You see boosters on this side over here when we watch tape back the next day, and they're up and they're in the referee's ears, and everything's close. It's a hard place to play. As I said, it's a big advantage for us having people that want to come and not just be here, but they want to be involved and interact with the game. It's one of the great things about basketball, really. I mean, a lot of other sports, the crowd is so far away. They're kind of there, but they're not really involved.
Yep.
Basketball, you can get involved, and in a small gym, you can get really involved.
What's your next 12, 24 hours looking like right now?
Film,
I'm sure. I was
film.
sitting next to Kyle. He said he was going to run straight back to the film room and start chopping some stuff up for you.
Yeah, VCU I hadn't even thought that would be a possibility. I mean, and you do look in the end. You rely on other people's opinions, and there's plenty of them on the internet, and you can look at any bracket. But as I said, that wasn't one that I'd seen really out there. So I'll need to go out. It was just like I watched that game this morning. It just happened to be watching VCU Rhode Island final, and more from a spectator's point of view than a coaching one. And it was more from the other side as if Rhode Island win this, they'll get an automatic bid. If they don't, they're probably out, and they're a really good team to be out. But that's the hazard of the mid-major at the moment. And in the end, the A10 got 3 teams in, which is great.
Lastly, how special was the reaction of the players and the fans here once your name was called?
Oh yeah, and I think that got built a couple of times. I said it looked like I think this will be it. Will be a 6 or 7 here. And I think that didn't happen, and then it didn't happen again. When Creighton got that one, I was like, oh. So the relief on their faces and their body and their immediate responses, it was genuine. It wasn't like like obviously there's TV cameras and there's people watching. People can script things, but that was genuine. We're on their feet and cheering and everything else, and it's a reward. It's a reward for the guys, obviously, for the time and effort they put in. It's one of the good things about college basketball. We've just been through a low of losing a conference final. You get another chance. There's a lot of sports you don't get another opportunity. That's it. You play one final a year, and that's it. College basketball, you get a chance to win a conference title, then you get a chance to win a conference tournament title, and you get a chance to play in a postseason. So you get 3 opportunities, and as I said, our job is now to make the most of this one.
Well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy next few days, that's for sure.
Oh,
yes. It's all well worth it.
Yes, it will be. I'm glad I'm not into having to book flights and hotels and meals and all the rest of it. I've just got to watch tape and see what VCU do.
Exactly. Well, Marty, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon and all season long. We really appreciate it. Best of luck on Thursday against VCU in Salt Lake City.
Hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you.
Marty Clarke on the NCAA Tournament Preview Show presented by Diablo Valley Insurance, proudly representing Safeco Insurance. Go to DiabloValleyInsurance.com.
Shooting threes, and like Fab said, we all about the G, but this year we gon' go.
All right, welcome back to the NCAA Tournament Preview Show here on the St. Mary's IMG Sports Network. It's presented by Diablo Valley Insurance, proudly representing Safeco Insurance. Go to DiabloValleyInsurance.com for more details, as we are joined by now Dane Pineau. Alex Jensen, by the way, here in an empty McEwen Pavilion after St. Mary's finds out they're the 7 seed playing VCU on Thursday in Salt Lake City. And we bring in Dane Pineau, senior forward. Dane, was that more professional for you?
That was excellent, yeah.
I appreciate that.
And it was great. I appreciate being on a professional show like that. So
I'm marginally more professional, right? I'll tell you what. I'll give you an opportunity to be funny.
I actually preferred the other opening. That seemed more relaxed. This one seemed pretty rigid and more like
rigid. You seem relaxed, so I guess it's just the way you are, Dane.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Let's put a bow on this season, if we can. 28-4 in the regular season, 16-2 in the WCC. Finished second, obviously, to Gonzaga, who gets a number 1 seed, and yourself a 7 seed. But a 28-4 record, I mean, with the preseason ranking, with everything you come in with in the preseason, and having a target on your back just about every night. And like I was saying with Marty, and the most impressive stat here is that 26 of your 28 wins were by double figures. Did you notice kind of a ramped-up intensity that your opponent would bring to the floor every single night because you have that number next to your name?
A little bit, yeah. But, I mean, the pressure, we never really felt any sort of pressure. It was just, we just like playing with each other so much. So it was never like, we never really talked about it much. We never really talked about rankings at all in the locker room or anything. And we did notice for sure that teams tried to come at us a little bit harder because we had that number next to our name. But, it was just a lot of fun competing this year. And we love playing with each other. So it was easy to come out and compete every night because we wanted to do well for our friends on the team, and that definitely helped with the whole expectation sort of aspect of the year.
I think it's like excuse you, need some water? I think I got some right here. Let me know if you need some.
Dry. It's like there's dust around here.
Yeah, no, it's like the Vegas era. In Las Vegas, by the way, my lips got so chapped and my knuckles got my knuckles were bleeding literally.
How are your knuckles?
Like they were.
So
I don't know. It was
bad?
just a dry air. It was weird.
My lips were so red. It was crazy.
Burt's Bees. That's the answer there. Burt's Bees.
I had paw cream. My mum got that for me.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. Treat. She gets it from back home. It's a special remedy only allowed for Australians.
Well, I mean, like we were talking about, only allowed for Australians, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try some and see if it works. If it doesn't work on...
My mum wouldn't let my dad use it until he got citizenship, so...
Well, is it one of those things where it just won't work, or...
A bit of both.
Okay. Well, I think the fact that you guys have so much fun playing together really... I mean, that's what makes me enjoy watching you guys so much and calling your games, is because it's evident, when you're out there playing together, that you really do enjoy each other's company, not just playing together, but off the floor and anything you're doing, really.
It means a lot because it's a long season, and there's different times throughout the year where guys get opportunities and other guys won't. And if the teams that can stick together and the teams that have guys who want to see everyone else succeed and don't really worry about themselves, they're the ones I think that do really well. It's big time. It's so much better playing on a team as well when you're all tight and you're all friends, and it makes winning more fun because you celebrate together, and it makes losing a little bit easier because you can all you all have each other's backs and pick each other up and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been big time for us that we're so close together as a group.
Well, you look back at the West Coast Conference tournament, and boy, I mean you beat Portland by a pretty nice margin. You dismantled BYU. I mean, that had to have been fun, especially that BYU game, because you got up and you never let up. And there were a lot of eyeballs on that game too. But I also imagine that's probably what made that Gonzaga loss a little bit more painful for you guys, right? Because you were playing so well, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but probably not the best 20 minutes to open that Gonzaga game, and I'm sure that's kind of what made it sting the most.
God, AJ, I can't believe you just come and ambush me like this on this show.
Oh my goodness!
I come in and I do this show as a favor, and you just bring up all these bad memories.
Well, I just talked about the way you dismantled BYU. Did you like that word I used, dismantled?
This is unbelievable. Here I am thinking that we're mates, and then you guys were so bad when you played Gonzaga. That's just all I'm hearing right now.
No.
Gonzaga Gonzaga
that's not what I said. That's not what I said. Do not put words in my mouth, because you can easily spin that back, Dane. If you want to be a master, you got to learn how to do this stuff. If you're going to get into this career, you got to spin that back to, we really were playing well against BYU, and we played really well in that second half against Gonzaga, but hey, do you want me to phrase it differently?
No, it's right.
Let's take that again. Let's take that again.
I can talk about it. It's fine. It's first of all, I would like to talk about it. It was great to beat BYU like we did 3 times this year.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of dominated them this year, which is really nice. I lost to them. I'd never won before in BYU, and they've been tough to play every year. And then this year, we just really had their number, and that was really fun. I will say that for sure. You got that part right.
Thank you.
And then when
Appreciate
you rudely brought up how we played terribly against Gonzaga in the first half, that was tough.
I can't ignore it, Dane.
It was strange. It was kind of a strange feeling because we'd been playing so well, and we'd never really thrown an egg like that before, where we were just kind of bad for 20 minutes. And it was a combination of things. I think maybe Coach B said he called it jumping the fight. We were kind of too excited to play, and we didn't really show the way we didn't really play the way we usually do. And look, it's a bummer. If the thing is, we're in the side of the bracket. If we get a chance to play them again, I'd be so pumped.
Yeah.
We just feel like we're better than we've shown against them, and it's so frustrating that we didn't really ever give them our A game, and it's hard to sit here. They beat us convincingly 3 times, and we still feel like we could beat them though if we played them again, and it'd be incredible if we did get that opportunity, but likely we won't, and it's hard to sit. It is hard to sit here and say that we felt great about that game, but after we lost that game, and a couple of days later we came back and practiced, and everything's back to normal again. We just remembered how much we enjoyed being together as a team, and hopefully we can play for a little bit longer after this. A lot longer.
That's what I came away from that game with was, hey, listen, Gonzaga's really good, but so is St. Mary's. And the fact that you showed in that second half that you're on that level. I mean, like you said, when things are clicking and you're certainly on that level, and I think that's what I took away from that game, was that St. Mary's is certainly on Gonzaga's level. May not have shown it for 40 minutes against Gonzaga at any particular time, but there's no doubt about it that if you take these two teams and you watch them play, especially when you look at your matchups against BYU and some of the other top teams here, Dayton is one that certainly comes to mind. Even teams like UAB and some of these other clubs that you played early in the year that were picked to win. Nevada is another one. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for.
I got you.
Yeah, nice. Like I said, you got a future here.
I didn't even have notes in front of me. Like
I know. Well, I don't have Nevada written down here, but
that's probably your mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, well, a lot of things were my mistake. The way I ambushed you, I'm sorry about that. But no, I mean, listen. I mean, the fact that you've shown that you can play on that level for long stretches of time, that has a huge deal to do with you guys getting a 7 seed.
Yeah, I know. It's we have some good wins over some good teams, and it does give us a lot of confidence. Starting off the season, Jock had like 30 against Nevada.
33?
33, yeah. He was killing them. It was, it gives us a lot of confidence that we can play with anyone when we look at the teams we've beaten and how well they've done. And, it's big for our confidence when we were coming into the conference play that we'd beaten some good teams already, and then also moving forward into the postseason, we feel like we can do well against these teams that are not in our conference as well.
Yeah. Well, so again, you get the 7 seed. You're taking on VCU. Maybe it's just because I've been at St. Mary's for so long, but once we got to the West region and Gonzaga's name hadn't been called yet and St. Mary's hadn't been called yet either, I mean, I knew there was no way we were getting left out of the tournament, but for whatever reason, I was getting a little nervous. I mean, based on what happened last year, and I think it was 2011 when St. Mary's got left out that season. But there was no doubt St. Mary's was going to be in this year with an RPI of 17. And then once I saw Dayton get the 7 seed in the region before, no way, right?
Yeah, no, it was kind of funny. We were kind of the same way. Jock was mic'd up, so I was trying to be calm next to Jock when I was sitting there. I didn't want anyone back home, listening in to ESPN and seeing me panic. But it was
Dane Pineau never panics.
I never panic. But it was a funny thing. We were all kind of thinking the same thing. Where, my God, when is our name going to get called? And then Cincy got the spot that we really wanted, where they got to go play down in Sacramento, which would have been awesome. We would have got so many of our home fans that have driven down there for us, which would have been really cool. And so that was kind of a bummer, but. It was like you said, we had these, Nevada was in over there and Dayton too.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just thinking there's no way we're not getting picked, but this is kind of annoying. I wish we would just get called out already. And the
longer you have to wait, it's like the more nervous you get.
It was kind of good in a way, because if I think we had got picked in that first the East bracket, maybe we wouldn't have been as excited when our name got read out. There would have been no tension, and then there was a little bit of some nervous energy in the arena when we finally did get called out, so it made it a little bit sweeter.
You talked about, maybe the possibility of going to Sacramento and the possibility your fan, a lot of fans would be able to come. But there were a lot of fans signing up in the lobby today for tickets with Blake Huckabee, who was just standing right in front of us.
Blake was doing work?
He was doing work, yeah.
That is incredible. I wish I had seen that.
Hope you're not listening to Blake. But how cool is it today having the community out here and following you guys along, and you got the chance to speak over the loudspeaker a little bit. I know how much you love that. But how nice was this, and how nice has it been all season long? We talked about your senior night earlier. If you could expand on your senior night and having 5 sellouts and close to a record, if it's not a record in attendance this season.
That's a lot of things.
How great the fans have been, basically, if you can encapsulate it right there.
It's been awesome. We get so much support from the community, and it's amazing. Like Emmett was saying, we would walk around. Emmett or Jock was one of them was saying that we walk around the Moraga, and we get so many different people come up and tell us, that they like watching us play or just giving us support, and it's awesome. It's just kind of a really inclusive area, and I'm really lucky that I've come to a community like this for 4 years. I feel like it's I'm going to miss it a lot, all the fans, and it's been great this year for sure. Like you mentioned, the sellouts and the high attendance numbers, everyone came out to watch us this year, and winning helps us, but they've been here every year when we've played. The numbers might not have been quite as high, but they always come. There's the Moraga faithful in the lower section right behind our bench are always there. And
oh yeah,
there's those 3 ladies who always have their sign. It's I can't remember what it is now. What it was before, but I know it just says Evan now, which is nice. And it's great that we have got people like that who just are always there supporting us. And it was unreal this year. The student section was nice. Yeah, we got College Game Day come here as well.
That was incredible.
That was awesome. And I think it speaks to the kind of support we had that they came in, because they know that the atmosphere is really good for the games, and it definitely helps us when we're playing, and we have the support of the crowd behind us like we do here. So it's been unbelievable this year and every year I've been here.
This is the NCAA Tournament Preview Show right here on the St. Mary's IMG Sports Network. So St. Mary's gets the 7 seed. They'll head off to Salt Lake City and take on VCU, presented by Diablo Valley Insurance, by the way. Diablo Valley Insurance is proudly representing Safeco Insurance. Go to DiabloValleyInsurance.com for more details. What do you know about VCU, Dane? Alex Jensen, Dane Pineau here in an empty McEwen Pavilion. What do you know about VCU? What's that matchup going to look like? Obviously, they're known for being a very athletic team, a lot of ball pressure. Maybe not the highest scoring team, but how do you see that matchup? How do you match up?
I don't know much at all about VCU, actually. I know that not so long ago they went to the Final Four, and I know that they're a really good program because they're playing in the NCAA tournament. And I haven't ever watched them this year. I have no idea the players. I know that they play hard. Like that's the style they used to playing when I saw them make that run. And we just know that in any game we get to play in this tournament, however many we get to play, that we'll be playing against really good teams, because only good teams can make it. And so we're excited. We know it's going to be a challenge. They'll be a good team, but we back ourselves against anyone.
This is obviously your first NCAA tournament. Everyone in that locker room's first NCAA tournament, and that's why you play college basketball, is to play on this stage, to play in the NCAA tournament. How special was it for you and everybody else when you saw your name called?
Yeah, it was very special. We've been waiting 4 years to hear our name called, and it's the first for me. That's Coach Marty, who came in with me as well, and obviously it's the first for everyone. But it means a lot, because I know how hard it is to get there. We thought we should have made it last year. The 2 years before that, probably not. But it's so challenging. I mean, there's 68 teams in the country that get to go, and a lot of automatic bids. So then it comes down to I don't know exactly the right numbers here, but there's how many automatic bids, and then there's like 30 or 40 teams that sort of can.
It's 32 automatic bids. I want to say 34 at large. I could be wrong. I think it's 32 conferences. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just such a small number of teams that get to go and experience this event, and it just seems so incredible. It takes over like the whole country, and the president picks a bracket.
Not this year.
Not this year, yeah. But it's just amazing to be a part of it, and I've been watching this tournament for so long as well. I mean, back home, I still remember all the times me and my dad would watch it together, and all the different players that have been in it, and all the exciting stuff that's happened. It's just such a big deal, and to get a chance to be a part of it my last year here is pretty special.
Is this so far your best memory at St. Mary's, is seeing your name on that screen? Or I know there's a lot there, in your 4 years here in Moraga, but that's got to be up there, right?
Yeah, it's got to be up there. I would probably say being in the locker room after we won the conference championship last year is probably my favorite memory with the team. So it's hopefully, my favorite moment's still to come. If we could make a run in this tournament, I don't think there'd be anything that could top that. So, yeah, it's definitely up there, though. It was pretty exciting to see us up on that board, finally.
Finally, first time since 2013. Any other thoughts here, Dane? I mean, this is what you've been waiting for. This is your forum. I mean, we can talk about, any kind of interest you have. Cooking, dogs, I mean, whatever you want. I mean, is there a sport that Dane Pineau enjoys more than basketball? I don't know why I came up with dogs, by the way. It's just kind of first thing on my mind.
No. There is not a sport I enjoy more than basketball. That's why I'm playing it. But if I could be good at
just as much.
If I could be really good at any one sport, I would probably be good at surfing, because those guys kind of live the dream. They get to go and it's an endless summer for them. Mm-hmm. They just go out and just look really cool. Surfing is super cool. I'd love to be great at surfing. And the places they go are amazing too. So, yeah, if I had to be good at one sport other than basketball, it would be surfing. I'm terrible, though. So I would say the one sport that I enjoy other than basketball that I actually play would be golf.
Oh, we'll have to go play around sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to. If you can watch me lose some balls if you want. I'm pretty.
That'll be fun.
I'm pretty tough at that too. But you can never let a round of golf ruin you. You walk in the park. So
that's right. That's right. I love all the traditional golf. Better than The Office, huh? Am I right? After you lose a ball, right? This is looking a little bit further down the road. But once your career's done here at St. Mary's, what's next for Dane Pineau?
Look, I don't know. Actually, the ESPN lady asked me that too, and it's kind of dawning on me. It's getting pretty close that I'm starting to start working it out. I told her, I'll tell you the same thing I told her. I'm probably just going to go out and win the lottery, and that way I have a whole bunch of fallback money in case any of my endeavors don't work out well. But also, I would like to play for a professional team somewhere. I don't know where I would get to play, but as long as I could keep playing while I still can, you can't play forever, and I can avoid the real world, which is awfully daunting. And
I can tell you it is.
Yeah, I don't want to do that at all.
Play as long as you can.
So I would happily play anywhere, and I'd love to do that for a while, and then I'll try and work it out for there. Try and leave real problems to future Dane, and try and just sort of go with the flow right now.
Well, Dane, congratulations on an outstanding season this year, your NCAA tournament bid, an outstanding career. And listen, I'll miss talking to you in this format, man. I mean, if this is the last time we're able to do this, it's been a pleasure to get to know you, Dane. Best of luck here in March, and best of luck in whatever comes after St. Mary's.
Thanks very much, AJ. Pleasure's been all mine on this show. It's been so much fun, and yeah, I've loved my time here for a lot of reasons, but you're a part of it as well, for sure. And yeah, hopefully I can get the Crown Plaza Player of the Game in the first round, so we can have another run around at it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have a lot of basketball left, but
I'm sure you do. Yeah.
I'm going to miss the hell out of this place, and I've loved my time here.
Dane Pineau joining us here on the NCAA Tournament Preview Show. Thanks for tuning in to our NCAA Tournament Preview Show. Presented by Diablo Valley Insurance, proudly representing Safeco Insurance. Visit DiabloValleyInsurance.com for more details. You can follow St. Mary's on their road to Salt Lake City in the opening round as the 7 seed in the West region. The Gaels will take on the 10 seed VCU on Thursday in Salt Lake City. Follow the Gaels out to Utah on social media at SMC Gaels and at St. Mary's Hoops on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And also stay tuned to the website, smcgaels.com, for photos, videos, and highlights from the Gaels trip out to Salt Lake City. The Gaels are dancing, again, for the first time since 2013, in the field as an at-large, a 7 seed in Salt Lake City in the West region. My thanks to Marty Clarke and Dane Pineau for joining me today on this NCAA Tournament Preview Show here along the St. Mary's IMG Sports Network, and thanks for tuning in all season long. For one final time from Moraga, California, this is Alex Jensen saying so long from McEwen Pavilion as the Gaels are going to the NCAA Tournament. The 7 seed taking on the 10 seed VCU on Thursday. So long, everybody.
Moraga style. It's the Gaels gone wild. It's the Gaels gone wild. It's the Gaels gone